Check 1 2. Check 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 1 2 3. One two. Five, four, three, two. Check 1 1 2. Check 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 1 2 3. One two.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, thank you.
Friday is sunny and
But anyway, real quick about Michaela. So, I adopted her while she's here, but she's somebody that I was meant to shine. She is driven. Last year she did an internship.
Check 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1.
She's a young black female from a single mom. And so she was taken to move from Qatar over here to Raleigh, and she's rocking it. I think she's gonna be, maybe.
4 3 2 1.
Ambassadors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for being here. Happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day. We specially organized this as a little Valentine's Day gift for Dean Floyd. No. Your wife said it would be a good idea. All right, so we are here for the comprehensive 5-year review of the dean and of the college programs, and this is in accordance with Regulation 5.50.02. So there are several major parts to this. So first of all, in the next hour, we'll hear from Dean Floyd with a college overview. Then from 9:40 to 10:20, I'll meet with the college faculty here in this room. From 10:30 to 11:10, we'll move down to room 1218, and I'll meet with SHRA and EPS staff who did not report directly to the dean. From 11:10 to 11:50, in the same room, I'll meet with direct reports to the dean, excluding department heads. And from 11:50 to 12:30, I'll meet with department heads. So again, the presentation and the faculty session will be here in this room, and then we'll move to 12:18 for the remaining sessions. So a critical part of the review process is getting systematic feedback from everyone in order to ensure that issues of importance to the college are included in the assessment process. The development of a survey included input from the College Leadership Survey Committee. I thank those folks who are on that committee: Angela Allen, Zachary Akaro, Marcelo Arden, Carla Babian, Gary Blank, Lucienne Lucia, Julie Paradiso, and I also want to thank Nancy Welshel from our survey office, who does an awesome job. I'll be following up with employees on Wednesday, April 30th at 10 a.m. in this room, so room 1216. Are there any questions about the process? If none, I'll turn it over to Dean Floyd. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost, and good morning, and I'm glad you're all here, and good morning to those who are listening virtually. 5 years went by incredibly fast. I was talking with someone either yesterday or day before about the first few days as interim dean, and I thought it was going to be really, really easy. I take a routine walk around campus each day at around noontime, and my first week as interim dean, I was out for a walk, and I got a call from a former colleague, a former professor here at CNR, and they wanted to write a check for $1 million for a distinguished professorship. I was like, wow, it happened just like that. So I thought from there on, I thought it would be not easy, but I thought it would be not as challenging as it really was, because you can remember what we were in the spring of 2020. But since then, we have written an incredible chapter in our 96-year history in the College of Natural Resources. And I want to share some of that history with you today, the last 5 years of accomplishments. And I want to align that with the Wolfpack 2030 strategic plan of our university, and then show you how our strategic plan has uplifted the university and elevated its reputation. But before I do that, I just want to give you a quick refresher, and for those of you who are not quite familiar, just give you a overview of our college. We are driven by our mission to get out into the world around us and to have a positive impact in communities across the state and around the region, throughout the country and the world. We seek to empower our students and stakeholders to better our planet and communities and industries that we serve. We truly take our land grant mission seriously, and we provide value, economic value, and prosperity for the people of this state. We're organized into these academic programs. Here's where you find the talent, the expertise, the staff, the faculty that allow us to do the great things that we do. The Department of Forest Biomaterials, Parks, Recreation, Tourism Management, and an interdisciplinary center, the Center for Geospatial Analytics. I am supported by an incredible, talented, dedicated, and innovative team of leaders. If work that happens in this college. And so I'm really indebted to them for their caring and sense of responsibility in caring for the people that they serve in their respective units. And just a quick look at our numbers, through these in great detail, but just want to say that we are a knit community. We have about 250 faculty and staff, about 1,700 undergraduate students, a variety of different majors and programs that allow our students to pursue careers in natural resources and environments, from paper science and engineering and biophysical sciences all the way to the social sciences, focusing on policy and management of parks and recreation spaces. We have 9 undergraduate majors, 7 master's degrees, 5 PhD programs, and we also have 6 research cooperatives, which you hear a little bit more later, and programs, 14 cooperative extension FTEs that are part of the cooperative extension program. We not only have impact on campus and inside the building, we also have impact throughout. Our collective economic impact exceeds $100 billion annually. Forestry and forest products represents the largest manufacturing sector in our state, and tourism represents the largest service sector in our state. Outdoor recreation, public and retail, 16 billion. And the last number in terms of sport, which is a hard number to track down, but Professor Edwards, Dr. Edwards, an estimate of about $6 billion in economic impact that comes through sport in the state of North Carolina. So our college, our graduates are in these industries. Our college provides the knowledge and skills and the talent that goes out and to support this level of impact to our state. Our strategic plan embraces the philosophy of the planet classroom. We get outside. When I drove in this morning early, there was a group out back in the cold waiting to go out into the field. I don't know who class that was. Anyway, great. But we believe in that. That's our distinctive. Our strategic plan bore that out when we embarked on that in 2020. But what I really wanted to do at the start of this is to show you how we have elevated the university and how we line up with the metrics that the university has set forth. And after going through that, then I will point out how our strategic plan has served it. So you can get a sense of how we have, I think we've done a pretty good job, as we'll see. So in terms of 1, empowering students for a lifetime of success and impact. And this is just a look at our enrollment in terms of student count. The gray bar is our undergraduate enrollment, and the red bar at the bottom, maroon, is our graduate student. The graduate student, the trend is about half the rate of growth as a university as a whole, but we are still trending positive in our overall enrollment at the undergraduate level. The graduate numbers are stable. As you might know, we did limit our growth somewhat, but it is stable, and we have been fortunate in that regard that our overall enrollment has continued to rise. With the support of our Great Advancement team and philanthropy team, we have continued to make important strides in increasing our giving, and we'll talk more about that later as well. Snapshot of the scholarships that we have been able to award over the last 5 years. We have supported students in their time at NC State and giving them a pathway to a future career. So goal 2, preeminence in research, collaboration, research, scholarship, innovation, and from 2020 to, and the gray bar is our tenured and tenure track faculty. The darker I'm not, but there is a color code for it in the brand catalog. That is our professional track faculty. We've had a significant number of retirements within our tenure track and ranks, reflected in that bottom bar, with moving from 74 positions in 2020 down to about 68 positions of where we are now. And we are about stable in our professional track faculty numbers over the last 5 years. When we look by gender, we see some disparity or just stark differences in terms of the gender representation in our faculty ranks. We're still at about 70% men faculty in the college and about 30% women faculty among the tenure and tenure track rank. But in terms of the number of women voted to associate professor, or associate professor, or full professor, those numbers are increasing. In 2020, if you look at the gray bar, that's the CNR number, we were below where the university was, the percent of women at the professor and associate professor rank. But by 2024, we had met where the university was and actually exceeded it just by a few percentage points. So again, that's one of the bright spots in the faculty demographics. In the professional and in contrast to what we saw with the tenured and few more slides. One thing that stands out here, those of us in the building, research expenditures nearly over the last 5 years due to the incredible work of our staff and our faculty. They continuing to write outstanding proposals and continuing to land those, which again, the testament to their hard work and dedication. And we'll come back to this at the end because there's a good story to tell here, but there's also a challenge related to this. Goal 3, looking at how we are supporting NC State as it becomes a 21st century land-grant university. Our extension programs have reached 1.7 million people in the last year through a variety of means, through our programs, to our web presence. We have made a significant impact across this state and throughout the region. We house a significant number of cooperatives and consortia that partner with the forest products industry and the paper industry with 160 individual members collectively. And those co-ops and consortia have been about $3.7 million in annual dues in the last year. So this is just another way that we are demonstrating our relevance as a land grant, but also through our extension programs. And one of the ways to do this is expanding our international, our global presence as it relates to extension. And I just want to highlight one way that we're doing that, and just to single out Dr. Carla Barbieri, who was recently named the president of the Global Agritourism Network, something that was launched in the United States that Carla has been a real leader for in North Carolina and beyond, is now taking that leadership to the global stage and elevating NC State in that realm. Goal 4, where we champion a culture of equity, diversity, and inclusion, and belongingness and well-being in all we do. Just want to focus on demographics here and also look at how we see the workplace in CNR. So this is our percent of underrepresented minority undergraduate students in CNR versus where the university is. And for these, we are below where the numbers are. We are at about 18. We've hovered around 18 and 19% undergraduate in terms of underrepresented students across the four or 5 years. And so that's one of those areas that that we will have some work to do, I'll say. In terms of women graduate students, another just example of demographics within the student population. Just want to highlight this one. But when we look at women representation among graduate students, we see more equal standing with where the university is. In fact, in 2024, similar to where we saw women faculty, women graduate students there's a higher percentage of women graduate students at CNR than there is at the university overall. So in terms of underrepresented graduate students, a little bit more parity as far as at the graduate level, in contrast to what we saw with the undergraduate representation of underrepresented minority students. So most of you are familiar with the Employee Engagement Survey, and this is the metric that the university uses as a part of Goal 4. And the question reads, is all things considered, that this is a great place to work, being NC State. In the spring of 2020, I mean, we're all feeling good about working at NC State, working in the College of Natural Resources. We weren't too far off from the university's percentage of folks who said they strongly agreed or agree with that. But we see in the spring of 22, we dropped back a great deal. And I guess not feeling as great, and maybe that's a bit of a hangover, if you will, from the pandemic. But we see in the most recent data that we have bounced back and feeling better, I'll say, about NC State, the College of Natural Resources as a great place to work. And this encompasses all population groups within the college minus the students. Goal 5, improving our effectiveness through transforming technologies, cutting edge processes, and actionable data. Just 3 things I'll highlight very quickly. We created a new position, the Director of Continuing and Professional Education, to help with our conference planning and meeting arrangements, handling our contracts, which has been a tremendous success. I think grossed over $100,000 last year from that position alone. We created a student team of interns to help manage our health and environmental safety in the college. That team is managed by Elizabeth Nichols in the Department of Forestry and Environmental Resources. And Academic Affairs is really supporting our leadership by putting together an analytics dashboard to help decision-making in the college. Goal 6, how do we lead in developing innovative partnerships and entrepreneurial thinking? In the last 5 years, we have launched 6 different spinoffs. I hope I have this right, Dr. Scheller. But we have launched 6 different spinoffs, and these have been companies that focused on fibers and materials. One focused on tree genetics. Well, I'll talk about that a little bit later. And one also focuses on social sciences and social innovation. For example, People First Tourism, which began at the lab on the campus of NC State, it is now a P1T Inc., which is based downtown, which focuses on connecting tourists to authentic experiences when they travel. And also, something we celebrated last year, that Jack Wong, who was the co-founder of TreeCo, was named the Entrepreneur of the Year last year, and this was a campus-wide recognition. And lastly, on Goal 7, and this is a recent ranking by College Factual, which prospective students and parents use to make their college decisions. We are number 1, according to College Factual, for wood science and wood products and pulp and paper technology as a place to study that. We're number 1 in forest management and forest resources management. We're number 1 in the PhD program being sought in a conservation natural resources program. And our PRTM program is ranked number 1 in terms of a place to come and do that work. So we are very proud of those rankings and we expect them to hold up as time goes on. In terms of fundraising, which I mentioned earlier, we had our big year in 2021. That was the year of our campaign ending, but we are still holding steady. We are well supported by our donors, by alumni, and other friends of our college. So we are really grateful for the ways that they support us in the programs that we undertake. And in terms of our overall endowment, the NC State endowment right now is about $2.2 billion, and we have climbed to about $263 million. And so that puts us about 1/10 of the university's overall endowment. So we are very proud of that. That allows us to do some things that we probably couldn't do without it, and it will become more important as time goes on. We're also the #1 college of natural resources in the country and maybe the world with the amount of managed acreage that we have to support teaching, research, and extension with over 93,000 acres. 79,000 acres of that is in the Hoffman Forest down in eastern North Carolina. And in 2022, we added another 138 acres in eastern North Carolina, the Broad Creek property, which really gives us outstanding opportunities for research and teaching and extension within the College of Natural Resources, unrivaled across the country and maybe in the world. And lastly, we've been able to elevate the university through our thought leadership. On our website alone, last year we saw about 298,000 web hits for various stories. This year we're up by 100,000. And our faculty and our staff, their work appears in the leading media outlets across the country and sometimes around the world. And this is due in part to the great work that our faculty and our staff and students do, but we have an outstanding team of writers and communicators who make sure that our stories get out there and our stories get told. So now I want to spend a few minutes talking about our strategic plan and what we've done to help elevate the university. And this will be just highlighting some examples, but our strategic plan really boils down to about 3 things. We really believe in collaboration to solve urgent challenges, and we'll look at some examples of that. We want to invest in our spaces, our natural assets like our forest, our industry partnerships to provide our students with the world's best classrooms. And lastly, we want to build community. We want to build inclusive learning environments, teaching environments, research environments, stakeholder environments for those that we interact with. This is our mission and our vision and our values. And I just want to highlight again some of the ways that we have developed these. So I want to take these one by one. Our first strategic priority is collaborating to solve urgent challenges at the intersection of the environment, our economy, and our society. And one of the ways that we've done this, one that received high visibility, I've mentioned it twice already, but Jack Wong and Rodolfo Barangu are partnering using CRISPR technology to improve genetics of trees to make them more resistant to climate change impacts, pests and pathogens. Just one example. Looking at a social science example from PRTM, where Jason McCarrow and Mike Edwards have united with faculty from South Africa and to better understand how youth sport promotes positive youth development. Bringing together youth soccer coaches I can say soccer because that's what I've always called it, but youth soccer coaches from South Africa, bringing them to the US and them going there to do cross-cultural learning to see how we can best utilize sport for positive youth development and positive outcomes for youth throughout their lives. In terms of individual faculty projects, Jelena Vukomanovic in PRTM and the Center for Geospatial Analytics, her team is taking what is being called a long view, a 500-year climate horizon to understand how climate change impacts have affected the Cherokee Indian people across multiple centuries, which is important for understand how climate change impacts will affect us in the coming years. Justin Whitehill and his team are bringing together economists, geneticists, forest management, foresters, extension, and others to better understand how we can develop genetically higher quality Christmas trees, but also use them for carbon sequestration. But again, bringing together a wide variety of disciplines, but also multi-institutional partners into this. On the extension side, last October, the College of Engineering, the College of Design, and the College of Natural Resources hosted the Mass Timber Solutions Conference in the Park Alumni Center, where we explored the potential for mass timber and cross-laminated timber to become more of a more widely applied sustainable building product in the country, in the industry, and we brought together the industry leaders and students, and various industry supporters were behind this. In the Department of Forest Biomaterials, it's another way that we are bringing industry in contact with our students. In 2021, they launched the Sustainable and Alternative Fibers Consortium, which brings together these various industries in the paper and packaging industry to explore technology to create more sustainable packaging and fiber products. They are now at 28 paying members. They raised $1.5 million this past year, but since their inception, they have raised close to $5 million. And I like to round up. In terms of teaching, we have collaborated and are collaborating to grow our environmental first year program, which will be a gateway for students interested in an environmental or natural resource career. And our partners include the College of Ag and Life Sciences, the College of Education, the College of Sciences, and looking for students that are interested in these areas, but also let them find their homes where they want to major as they come into this, into this first year program. We're also partnering with University College as well as University Housing and Eco Village, which we just started that partnership last year, where our students, with the environmental first year students, can have their residence in the Eco Village. And we're excited about the new partnership that will come about with the new Climate and Sustainability Academy. Another way that we're investing in partnerships with industry and creating the world's best classroom, we had the good fortune to be able to create a new career services office in our Office of Academic Affairs, led by Deanna Knighton, which was launched in 2023, which brings in career advising into the college, provides several kinds of support to our students, both undergraduate and graduate students. Before this, we did not have this service within our college, which is a great need. And other great news, we were able to launch the James Buzzard Leadership Program. This was made possible by an endowment by the late Jim Buzzard, a 1976 pulp and paper technology grad, a leader in the pulp and paper industry for many years. His vision was to empower budding leaders among undergraduate students, and Jason Bacara was selected and appointed as the inaugural director of that program. And he is doing a phenomenal job with those students, taking them, I know he likes to brag about this, but they visit the British Embassy in Washington, D.C. It's one of his favorite trips. I'm not sure if it is for the students. They enjoy it, I'm sure. But also, they've met with the leaders at USDA and other high-level executives around the region. So we are very proud of that program. We have been revitalizing and re-engaging our global engagement initiatives within the college. That's a part of our strategic plan. The planet is our classroom, and so we are proud of the investments that we have made here. We have been fortunate to received tremendous support from our donors, and we've been able to grow what we can award to students seeking study abroad experiences and other experiential opportunities. So we are up for about $200,000 for experiential learning over the last 5 years, and about 41% does go to study abroad for students. So this is a good trend, and it's a good thing that we are continuing to do. And we are also proud to continue to celebrate our history. This is just a sample, so please remember that. This is a sample, but these are our past recipients of Outstanding Global Engagement Award winners at the university, and our most recent is Meredith Martin in Forestry and Environmental Resources. So we've also, if you walk through the library, if you haven't been on this side of campus in a while, you might have seen the new Natural Resources Library, which we share with the College of Sciences and Marine and Earth and Atmospheric Sciences. We were able to move in 2020, and we appreciate the support of the provost and also Executive Vice Provost Charlie Mamoni. But we partnered with the libraries, and we partnered with the College of Sciences to make this happen, so we are very pleased with that. And if you walk through, maybe it's a Friday, it may be early, but that's typically what you see when you walk through. Students studying, the services are still there. Elements Cafe is still there. Well, not still there, is there, because that's new. But we have coffee in the building, which is a huge victory for those of us who are, yeah. And last year, or 2 years before, we were also able to partner after that to provide 3 umbrellas out front, one covered by CNR, one covered by the libraries, and one covered by the College of Sciences. So priority number 3, taking bold actions to build generally equitable and inclusive environments. So we aligned with the Board of Governors' directives. We restructured our Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And on the, I guess it's on your left side of that screen, you can see that we have changed our title of that office to the Office of College Culture and Community, which is led by Dr. Stacy Nelson. And we've also added some things to really make this office more about supporting our students, supporting our populations with well-being and other community building efforts. And one I'll highlight in just a moment, but we've added student clubs to his, I'll just say his portfolio. We have the new embedded counselor, and he will continue to manage the CARES team, and also bringing in our CNR Wellness Working Group under his leadership. But really wanted to highlight our embedded counselor, which is another partnership between the provost and the College of Education. We now have in the building the ability to provide walk-in services for our students, as well as virtual student support, and also appointment-based individual counseling, as well as other trainings that faculty and staff need in order to support the students in our programs. The CNR Wellness Working Group is a huge hit. I wish I could take part in it more often. But this is a group led by Dr. Janice Seitz. She leads this for us, and it includes a variety of things. This is just a short list of what they do, of what we do, from lunchtime walking groups to supporting our students during winter break, breast cancer awareness, and really stepping forward to recognize our housekeeping staff during housekeeping appreciation, but also throughout the year and during our holiday periods. And last year, we got to celebrate our WELL Wolfpack Gold certification, which just sets the bar really, really high for what we do in our college, because we like to get outside, we like to think that we're promoting healthy lifestyles, and we like to think that we not just say it, that we actually do it. So that's why I need to get back out there. Maybe if I take my walks, I might, anyways. Another program that I'm really proud of is another partnership, another way that we've come together to really build inclusive learning environments is our SURE program, Summer Undergraduate Research Experience. It's a partnership between our College Community and Culture Office, the Research Office, the Office of Academic Affairs, and our staff and faculty who stepped up to mentor and support these students. These are our students, NC State students, but we get students from A&T, from Southern, and from St. Augustine's and Tuskegee. And we are supported by the U.S. Forest Service and Weyerhaeuser and others to make this happen. They're in the field, they're in the labs over the summer, and at the end of the summer, they participate in the University Undergraduate Research Symposium. This gives them real research skills, exposes them to graduate school opportunities perhaps, but also helps them with their professional development. So I think we're in our fourth summer. Hopefully this will be our fifth summer. This will be the fourth summer. And so we are committed to doing this, and we look forward to this happening on the summer of 2025. So let's turn the page a little bit. I've outlined how I think we've met or helping the university achieve its strategic goals in the Wolfpack 2030. I tried to present some examples of how our strategic plan helps to elevate it and to really show what investments we've made in terms of supporting initiatives in our college around our three priorities. Now I just want to turn the page a bit and look at some opportunities and challenges, and then we can have a forum at the end of this. So in terms of opportunities, one of the most immediate is the Climate and Sustainability Academy, which was announced last December. And there will be 2 open house dates coming up the first week of March to engage with that. But I'm really excited about the opportunities that are there for our students, our staff, and our faculty to interact with this. We are very pleased with the leadership of that academy, with Dr. Aaron Seecamp being named the executive director of the academy, along with Christopher Gaelic being the co-director. There's a lot of potential there, a lot of exciting things that will come about because of this. It will bring together many of the things that we're already doing as far as climate and sustainability under an umbrella that I think will benefit all of our students and staff who are interested in this space. And not only that, we want to build on the partnerships and collaboration that we already have with the Office of University Interdisciplinary Programs, such as the Global and Health Academy, the Genetics and Genomics Academy, the Data Science and AI Academy, the Shelton Leadership Center, which also supports the Buzzard Leadership Program, which I forgot to mention, as well as our partnership with the Museum of Natural Sciences, where we have faculty who are there, but are also members of the Department of Forestry and Environmental Resources. So we have a number of ways that we can continue to build and really take advantage of new opportunities that will come about because of these partnerships. And there's also opportunity for new faculty-led initiatives within our college. And 3, I'll just highlight here. I've already talked about mass timber, which will be a focus of our Department of Forest Biomaterials. There are a couple of hires in the works now that we hope can really elevate this and push this along. In the spring of 2024, if I have that date right, Justin Baker and colleagues, I should say, launched the Forest Carbon Solutions Initiative to bring together students, staff, and faculty interested in the measuring and monitoring and modeling of carbon to understand how that will affect climate change impacts. And if I can use this phrase at least once, I am super excited by a coming nature and health initiative that will involve faculty from PRTM, I don't know where USD came from, faculty from PRTM and the College of from Department of Health and Exercise Studies, practitioners in the region, as well as faculty colleagues from around the country who will come to NC State to explore how we can advance the understanding of how nature contributes to human health. So I'll be happy to report on that if I get to do this again. But these are all ways that we are using to develop critical solutions and to improve human health through the resources that we manage. Another opportunity that lies ahead, it's also a challenge, but there's an opportunity here as well, and that is developing a workforce for the future. There was a study done with the 66 Northrop universities. That's the National Association of Universities with Forest Resource Programs. And we are one of 66 universities. And over time, we have seen, according to that study, we have seen positive enrollment growth in natural resource related areas. That's an opportunity. More students are coming into our programs. The second bullet there from another study, a separate study, suggests that 72% of recruiters face challenges in hiring. So there's a gap there in terms of what employers need and the availability of students that might be out there. So that suggests an opportunity for us that might involve new majors, new minors, new certificates, just innovative academic programs that might be needed to fill that gap. Some of that we're already doing because we're actively involved with a number of partners around the campus. For example, we have just started conversations and moving forward with enrollment management and services, the College of Ag and Life Sciences, Wilson College of Textiles, to build on and evolve into the PackTrack 2.0, which will provide a pathway for community college students to come to NC State students. Secondly, we have worked successfully and glad to be a partner with the Poole College of Management on the Business Sustainability Certificate. And we're also working with the Pappas Real Estate Development Program on a certificate to fit into that program. We just met with them yesterday. And we also looking forward to working with the College of Engineering on our Rewind initiative, the Renewable Energy and Workforce initiative that is coming forward. Challenges, we'll get to a few of these. One of them, and it's the perennial one, and that is space and facilities. You were in one of our more recently constructed facilities in Jordan Addition, but if you go west, you'll go through Biltmore and Robertson, which were older vintage. But seriously, we are constrained by our space. We lack large classrooms. This is one of the largest rooms we have, the one you're sitting in, but we need a 200 plus seat classroom to allow our programs to be comfortable as well as to provide for growth. I mentioned our research productivity earlier. We have doubled that in the last 5 years, but the recent space analysis shows that we are at a deficit in research space by about 28,000 actual square feet. And also, many of our labs require or need renovation, and more specifically, our pilot papermaking facility in Forest Biomaterials is in need of a major upgrade to help our students be career ready when they leave NC State. And the last one I'm going to end on is the opportunity and the challenge. In times of uncertainty, as we're in, this is a powerful opportunity for us to better clarify and amplify our impact around our state. As I tried to show earlier, we generate tremendous value for the state of North Carolina in terms of employment, our graduates, the science that we do, and we provide services that we can quantify, like the jobs, like the economic impact. But our impact extends far beyond that when we consider the things like clean water, clean air, being able to see wildlife, access to parks. When we consider those kinds of more difficult to quantify benefits, our impact is even greater. And so we in CNR have to do, I have to do a better job of articulating and clarifying and amplifying that impact. We've been through this before. It's not the same. It's unprecedented, but we've been through similar challenges before. And previously, we have remained mission-focused. We were adaptive. We met the needs of our students and our stakeholders. We kept our focus on the things that were most important to us. And I believe we can do this in this current moment. And that will be important to us as we go forward. So one of the things that we will do, I assume we will do this, as we look ahead to our next strategic plan, I believe our plan served us well. I believe our current plan served us well, but there will be pieces of it that we will have to take another look into. But our plan has served us well, as I tried to demonstrate. Now, we are collaborating, we are providing science-driven solutions, we are engaging with our industries, we are getting out into the communities and serving our audiences. That's what we've done for about 96 years. That's not going to change. I believe that we are a model land-grant College of Natural Resources. My vision is that we would become the premier land-grant College of Natural Resources. We have the talent. We do have the resources. We will be challenged, yes. But I just think back to what we've been able to accomplish over the last 5 years, starting out with the pandemic, starting out with social unrest, starting out with a variety of social and political disruptions. And look at us. We've learned not only to work smarter, but we've learned to care. We've learned empathy. We learned to practice patience. And we have learned to take care of ourselves and to really reflect on our obligations to do that, our responsibility to do that. You can't care for others if you don't take care of yourself. So we've learned some very important lessons. So with that, I'm still committed to this, that we have a lot ahead of us, many challenges, many environmental challenges, social challenges, but we are ready to take this on. We've demonstrated it over the last 5 years. Some of you weren't here in 2020 or 2021 or 2022, but you've come to a good place, a place where we're well positioned to be the strong partner, to collaborate, to solve the greatest challenges that we are about to face. So I want to conclude with a huge thank you to the staff, the faculty of the College of Natural Resources. You have been incredible colleagues, incredible. This is not something I thought I would wish for, but you've made it a remarkable and fulfilling 5 years. Provost, I thought you were playing a cruel joke on me when you made April 1 my start date. But I want to thank you for your support. And I really thank you and the Chancellor for your support and your belief in my ability to lead this college. And it's been my privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Byron. All righty, we have maybe not quite 10 minutes for Q&A. So, Myra, I'm going to turn it over to you to run the Q&A. But please feel free to ask whatever's on your mind, as long as it's relevant to the topic.
You got the questions though.
And Myron, thank you for a great overview of the college. Phenomenal college doing some amazing things. Thank you. All right, what do we have?
Come on, please.
Any questions online? Kelly?
Not yet.
Not yet. Everyone's happy. Everyone's thinking about their dinner reservations.
try to use this. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, you mentioned the need for more space. Is there anything that you can share for your vision for solving that problem?
I can share that we are committed to keeping that in front of our university leadership. We know that there are many needs across campus, on the main campus, Centennial campus, throughout the state where we have buildings. And so we know we're not alone in that. But we have requested more space, facility upgrades through the campus development committee process, if I have that right. The campus development committee.
Yep.
So we have on that list, we have a new building. We have lab renovations extensive across the buildings, and we have asked for a building at Schenck Forest. And those weren't scored very high. And so we will continue to push those forward, and hopefully we will make some headway. We have met with the facilities folks and the architects folks, Lisa Johnson and others. They've done a walkthrough of the space maybe about a month ago. I'm looking for somebody who's on that walkthrough to get a closer look at what we are, what we're facing. So, thanks for the question.
Other questions? Alrighty, everyone gets an early mark. So once again, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We take these comprehensive 5-year reviews very seriously. And so I will have the opportunity to meet with many of you over the next couple of hours. But if there are other things that you want to bring to my attention, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. So please. So thank you again. Have a great Valentine's Day. And I'll see many of you over the next 2 hours. Thank you.
Thank you.